Hi everybody else, fox dogs and vixens. I'm Brian Mullins the Fox, back with another episode in the series known as Brian Mullins the Fox's Conspiracy Digs and Deep Dives. So, of all the nearly 200 or more countries all around the world, we'll go over what year each country birth rate-wise will become zero, as in like 0 births per woman, and I'll be separating all of them by continents. And here's the order in which I cover each continent and regional territory. Number 1, North America, which is going to be covered in this episode. Number 2, South America. Number 3, Europe. Number 4, Africa. Number 5, Asia. And finally, number 6, Australia. It'll be multi-parted, so don't worry about this being all in one episode, because it won't be, for the convenience and time management. I'm not covering Central America because either their birth rates are so stable that it could take centuries for these countries to finally reach Generation Zero, or they'll be the countries among the only sources for an influx of immigration that would defeat the purpose of declining birth rates. And now I'm not covering Antarctica, obviously, because nobody unironically lives there to live there, because it's completely uninhabitable. And here's the method in which I cover each country within each continent. Number 1, what year the birth rate of each country becomes zero. Number 2, what percentage of each generation will remain in said estimated year. And finally, number 3, what the mortality rate will be by then. And with all that out of the way, let's begin. North America, starting with the United States of America. Number 1, what year will the birth rate become zero? By about 2030, according to this graph by the Congressional Budget Office. Number 2, what percentage of each generation will remain by then? Baby boomers, 96.1%. Generation X, 100%. Millennials, 100%. Gen Z, 100%. Generation Alpha, 100%. Generation Beta, 100%. And finally, number 3, what would the mortality rate be by then? Not exactly sure on the rate itself, but it'll definitely surpass the lack of births in the US per woman, or 0.12 births per woman by 2030. Again, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Now let's get into Canada. Number 1, what year will be the one in which the birth rate becomes zero per woman? In about 13.625 years, and that is in 2039. Number 2, what percentage of each generation will remain if they're still considered nationally or nationalistically Canadian? 0% for all generations: baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, Generation Z, Gen Alpha, and then Gen Beta. Why is it 0%? Because pretty much all of them will still be alive, but won't be considered nationally or nationalistically Canadian anymore. And finally, number 3, what would the mortality rate be by then? Who knows? Who cares? And finally, before I end this episode, let's get into Mexico. Number 1, what year will the birth rate become zero per woman? Before we get to our potential answer, let's look at the birth rate per woman in this decade alone, starting with 2021. According to the statistic graph, 2021, 1.97, 2022, 1.94, and for both 23 and 24, 1.91. Given this rate, the year where Mexico will face Generation Zero as a problem, with 0 births per woman, with an average decline of 0.015 births per woman per year, it'll take about 127 years from 2026 if the birth rate is completely stable like it is today. So that's the year 2153. Number 2, what percentage of each generation will remain? Most likely 0 of them, unless there's plenty of younger generations with newer names past the point where other countries have reached Generation Zero for like 20 years or so, to keep the seed spreading aplenty. And finally, number 3, what the hell would the mortality rate be by then, as in 2153? Who knows? Who cares? Because I don't, if I'm perfectly honest. And that's about it for this episode. Next time, when I cover Generation Zero, I'll go over South America. But that's going to be in the next 2 or 3 episodes of this series, after I start covering newer topics. Next time, I'll go over Canada in only the sense where Canadians are engaging in medically assisted suicides just for their organs to be harvested, how long it's been going on, and why. But until then, I'm Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. See you then.